This information, honestly, it's gonna suck. There's no better way I could say it. This is a very unfortunate circumstance for a player that I feel like the entire NBA community and every NBA fan wanted to see happen. And unfortunately, it seems like a trade that we thought was a done deal is now going to get rescinded as a result of it. So before we get to the content, just a reminder, we're giving away $500 to an Instagram follower today on my Instagram story, and we're giving away a subscriber that turns on our notifications $500 as well. Make sure you check out the Laced Up podcast because we're going to 2 episodes a week featuring myself, Get Like Coop, and Mike Korzemba. And now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Every single NBA fan, I don't care who you are or what you say, has some sort of strange infatuation with Bol Bol. The reason is he doesn't really play much like Manute Bol, but he has a very similar body structure. It's like he's the modern day version of Manute Bol. But Manute Bol didn't really have the opportunity to showcase his ball handling the way Bol Bol does, and whenever you watch this guy play, it's actually very fascinating, which is why it's so disappointing that the Denver Nuggets can only play him about 5 minutes per game, which is not necessarily their fault, but because the Denver Nuggets are trying to contend currently, they have a ton of young players that they are already trying to foster, and they already have a bunch of players that hit the same developmental timeline that they've already successfully developed. And to be honest, they did a wonderful job cultivating young talent throughout the years, and Bol Bol was drafted during that period where they were just trying to cultivate as much youth as they possibly could. Some players develop faster than others, and in Bol Bol's case, he was drafted as an extremely raw prospect with copious amounts of potential. But unfortunately, what tends to happen is once a team is ready to contend, they stop focusing on developing the more raw players on their roster, and those raw players might slide to the end of the bench, which is what happened to Bol Bol. Throughout his entire career, the man literally played about 5 minutes per game, and with all due respect, whenever he was thrown in, it was kind of like a novelty thing. He would come in, cross someone over, and then like dunk on somebody or shoot a 3-pointer, and then someone would post that onto Twitter. It would blow up on Twitter, and we were all wondering what it would have been like to see Bol Bol get actual real minutes, go to a team that was rebuilding, has the same developmental timeline as that team's other franchise cornerstones, and ultimately, it seems like the Denver Nuggets are a world-class organization that respected that wanted to give Bol Bol an opportunity to develop with another team. Because if you look at what they did 4 days ago, the trade that the Denver Nuggets made involving Bol Bol was not necessarily a trade that really improves their team. They pretty much traded Bol Bol for a player that is significantly older than Bol Bol and has the same exact production as Bol Bol, which is pretty much just saying, yo, we want you to have an opportunity to succeed in this league. We don't see any reason to keep you on our bench whatsoever if we don't have the opportunity to take the time to develop you. And ultimately, I respected the Denver Nuggets for that move. All of the NBA community and its fans supported the Denver Nuggets for the move, and we were all excited because we finally would get an opportunity to see Bol Bol actually develop with a new team. To give you an idea, the Denver Nuggets traded Bol Bol for Rodney McGruder and a future second-round pick. Now, bear in mind, the source of this information was Adrian Wojnarowski. This wasn't me scraping the bottom of the barrel from some random source that just got a verified check mark and has like 3,000 followers. This is one of our most credible sources, which, by the way, is a free agent this offseason as well. Alongside with Champ Sharania and Adam Schefter, it's going to be a crazy insider offseason. So again, if you look at Rodney McGruder's stats, pretty much the equivalent to Bol Bol. Clearly another player that was going to be stuck at the end of the Denver Nuggets bench, but Bol Bol went to the Detroit Pistons, which was a team that could potentially start him, a team that could actually develop him, and honestly, we were all happy as NBA fans. But unfortunately, that trade isn't happening anymore, because according to this report, well, let's cite our most credible source so far, Adrian Wojnarowski, the Denver Nuggets trade of Bol Bol with the Detroit Pistons has been voided. The Pistons didn't pass Bol on his physical with the team. So I was doing a little bit of digging and I was trying to figure out what that meant, and all I could really find is the fact that the Detroit Pistons just didn't like something that was in Bol Bol's physical, so they retracted the trade. Now, this sucks for multiple reasons. One, we don't get to see Bol Bol actually develop with Cade Cunningham and Sadiq Bey and the rest of the Detroit Pistons young roster, except for Jeremy Grant, who's doing really well and should get traded at some point. But this is also awkward because the Denver Nuggets released a statement saying thank you, Bol, which is a very nice gesture from them for a guy that literally just provided viral Twitter clips and played about 5 minutes per game and didn't really contribute that much on a grand scale. But in addition to this, the Denver Nuggets recently signed James Ennis on a 10-day hardship contract. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Mike, that's not that big of a deal. It's just a player that is getting an opportunity in the NBA during all of this COVID stuff going on. But the awkward part is the Denver Nuggets gave James Ennis the number 10, which is Bol Bol's jersey number. And now this trade got retracted and Bol Bol is going back to Denver. So that's how much the Denver Nuggets moved on. It seems like, unfortunately, Bol Bol is going back to Denver, which just sucks, man, because like if you have an opportunity to develop a player and actually see what that player can become and trade him to a rebuilding team, the Denver Nuggets were really trying to do right by Bol Bol. They don't really get anything out of this trade other than sending this man to a team that could actually develop him. So honestly, it just sucks and it's a huge shame. I don't really know if Bol Bol could get traded at this point. I don't really know what happens to players that failed their physicals, because the last time this actually happened was with Donatas Motiejunas in 2016. And ironically, he was getting traded to the Detroit Pistons, but it was called off due to a failed physical. Now, what happened after that is he stayed in the NBA for one more year with the Rockets, and apparently he signed a 4-year, $37 million contract with the Nets. The Rockets would then match a 4-year offer sheet to retain him, but Motiejunas did not show up for his scheduled physical exam with the Rockets. And it seems like the entire situation was just very strange. They agreed to a contract, they were apart a few $1 million, and it seems like Motiejunas would get sent home before the Rockets would play on December 10th after taking a physical. And 5 days later, the Rockets would renounce the 4-year deal and their rights to Motiejunas, which would make him a restricted free agent. He would sign with the New Orleans Pelicans for a few games, and then after that, he would go overseas to play with other teams. So all in all, very unfortunate situation for Bol Bol. This could potentially mean that Bol Bol might be out of the league in a few years, which I hope isn't the case, but I'm going based off of the last player that failed his physical. I'm gonna keep you guys up to date on this really crappy news, man. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.